This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me, as always, are my good friends Petra.
Hello.
And Kate Abbott.
How do?
And today we're going to talk about some things that your dog can chew on. Not the get in trouble chewing on your shoes, but the good stuff. And we're going to do this for a couple reasons. One, we often run into dogs that don't like to chew, or owners who ask us, what should my dog chew? You know, how do I choose the right thing? And I know Kate and I each have a dog who's not a big chewer. Bones is getting better at it, but he's just not a big chewer like most of my other dogs have been. Hero's a power chewer. I mean, he chews often and he chews hard. His teeth are sparkly. And you've got issues with Quill.
Yeah. I mean, Walter didn't have a dentistry until he was, 12?
Yeah.
And every time I took him in, the vet would say, "Oh, you do such a good job of brushing his teeth." No, I don't brush his teeth. But he was a good chewer, and I gave him good things to chew on.
That was like Bashir. He didn't have a dental his whole life.
But my terrier is frustrating me immensely, as I cannot find anything that he will reliably chew upon, unless it's something he can just chew up and eat in 30 seconds.
And then it's not cleaning his teeth.
Not cleaning his teeth. I want him to chew and gnaw and relax and clean his teeth.
Yeah, mine. It's kind of like pick and choose. Like the other night, they hadn't messed with their cow ears in a long time, and all of a sudden, one night, both of them were like, "Oh!" and they went to town on them. You haven't even touched them in 5-6 days, and all of a sudden, they decide, for some reason, they're good that night. Yeah, mine's off and on, and I'll try different things.
No, that doesn't begin. I have branched out. I bought chicken feet.
The poor chicken walking around on prosthetics.
And my terrier went, tracheas, and I've stuffed them, and tendon. I mean, so I'm ever in search of the perfect thing for my one dog, while I'm giving advice to others.
So anyway, let's talk about some things they can chew on. When we go up online and look at the 10 best dog chews, or I think about the things that I've given my dogs in the past, and Hero now is a good chewer, or trying to get Bones to chew. Some of the things I have right now, I have a couple of elk antlers.
Yep.
I've been leery for the dogs of my size, 50 pounds, to get the deer antlers because most of them are smaller. Mm-hmm. And I have heard and seen the results of dogs getting greedy and swallowing them. I would say if you get an antler, get one that is much larger than you think your dog could ever potentially swallow.
Isn't that pretty good advice for just about every
Oh,
chew?
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, we want them to gnaw.
We want them to chew.
Right.
We don't want them to eat.
Yes.
So with the antlers, Bones doesn't chew on them at all.
Yeah.
Hero loves them.
Yeah.
I even took some peanut butter, and one of the antlers I got had the end slice wasn't completely even horizontal. There was a little diagonal
Okay.
that showed the inside bone texture of the antler. So I even did a peanut butter smear on that, pushing it into the air pocket.
Yeah.
Bones licked the peanut butter off, and then
That's
Hero finished chewing.
Right.
So the antlers have been 50% at my house, but I've heard that a lot of dogs do like them. One that in fact, we were just talking about a few minutes ago, the Himalayan chews. Now, the Himalayan chews are really, really hard yak cheese. Yak is in Y-A-K, the big furry milk-giving creature.
Think about a slice of Parmesan.
Right.
It still has the rind on it.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
So
really
it's that
hard.
rind. The whole yak
Really
thing
hard.
is a rind,
Right.
Yeah.
sort of.
Now, these
My
are
guys like those.
these are not cheap,
Nope.
and I had issues with them with Cisco years ago, who was a tremendous power chewer, and he'd got shards off. and they're very, very hard. So I took them away from my dogs at that point, and I probably should bring them back for Hero and Bones because the dogs really did like them. Bones might chew on them. But then you heard about the fun thing you could do with them.
I heard something today that I'd never heard before, and it was like, well, of course you can do that. A portion of a small piece of it, you put it in the microwave, and you watch it, and it blows up like a popcorn seed blowing up into popcorn.
Yeah, it is cheese.
So
it's just really hard cheese.
They said it turned into like a bubble, and then it was
try that, though.
more edible. And I was kind of blown away. There used to be, I think it was one of the plastic bone chewy people.
Nylabone?
Maybe it was Nylabone. They made one that it was designed for you to put in the microwave.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen
And I was saying
I don't think
something like, that was something I should try on Quill, because I've tried everything else, and they said, well, try the yak chew. And I went, I never knew that.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I've never been bold enough to do it. I've been kind of worried about blowing up my microwave. But I might do it here at the dog training yard.
Just blow up the dog training microwave. It's all right. Right off as an expense.
I got a microwave in the garage ready for the charity pickup.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll try it in
just
that.
try that.
Yeah, you try it and tell us what happens. And then another one that I've given my dogs that's worked really, really well with Hero, and once Hero gets involved in it, then Bones will also get involved, and that is one of the Nylabone's products called the Benebone, Bene Bone. Now, I had heard good reviews of this, so the first time I got some, they come in free flavors. Cheese.
Free flavors?
Free
flavors?
Free flavors.
Free flavors.
Cheese, chicken, and bacon. So, of course, I ordered the bacon. When that came and I opened that box, I almost started licking the damn things.
Whoa.
The bacon smell is so good. You know when you're cooking bacon and it gets crispy just before it burns? Yeah. And Hero...
So how long did you chew on the Benebone before you let the dogs have one?
It was kind of hard for my teeth.
Okay, all right.
But Hero will voluntarily pick them up 2 and 3 and 4 times a day to chew on them. Bones has chewed on them occasionally. Not as much as I would like and not as reliably. So those are some of the ones that have worked for my guys.
Now, what worked for years for Walter to keep his teeth clean were pizzles or bully sticks.
Yeah.
They were great. I had to be careful with my Roddy girl because she would get greedy and try to swallow.
Yeah.
But Walter would just gnaw until it was down to 1/4 of an inch, and I'd throw it away.
I took them away a little before that. My guys are bigger. I took them away when it got to about 3 or 4 inches, and when I see it disappear into the mouth while they're going,
it's like, nope, it's done.
Drop it, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that I do that, and then when it gets to a certain length, it's like you said, it disappears in the mouth. I take it out and then give it to the palms. The fingers are perfect. They're the right size.
There you go. Yeah,
I can still use them.
I had to watch Gina. I think she did some 6 or 8 inch ones, and she just did a swallowing act on.
Yeah,
and
that's
then gave
what-
herself a belly.
That's what Cisco did, and that's when I got scared about him. And then I started getting the braided ones.
Yeah.
And the other dogs could get the straight ones, and Cisco got the braided. And then I would take it away when it got too small. He did swallow some, and he never had issues with it, but I wasn't willing to risk it.
Downside to them is they can be stinky.
Yes,
Right.
although there are some that are
Better than others.
better than others.
So if your dog likes them, check around. You can get some that have been better washed or something.
Yeah.
One of the favorites that I get now that both dogs will chew on are cheek rolls. Now, we're not...
And they smell good.
Yes, they smell good. We're not particularly fans of rawhide. Rawhides, especially if they're made overseas, can be cured with formaldehyde. And now I'm told that once it's dry, the formaldehyde's all gone. But I'm sorry, that's what you preserve bodies with. And I don't like the idea of my dogs chewing on that. Plus, rawhides are very, very hard. And a lot of dogs chew off big chunks and then swallow it. And you're talking intestinal obstructions and belly aches and everything else. So I'm not a fan of rawhides, but the cheek rolls are the skin of the cheek of the steer or the cow, and it's thicker and it's softer. So I've never had, knock on wood, never had a dog chew off a big piece. They just chew off little pieces, and it is digestible. You know, as responsible dog owners, you check what comes out the other end.
Right.
And I've never seen a piece of cheek roll come out the other end. It is digestible. The other thing that goes along with that are the moozles or the schnoozles. And it gets a little gross, but hey, you know, if they're going to slaughter a cow, let's use all the parts.
Many parts are edible.
Yeah, the nose of the pig, the schnoozle, or of the steer, the moozle, are like the cheek rolls. They're softer, and the dogs seem to absolutely love them. So,
unless they're a terrier of mine.
Well, unless they're Kate's terrier.
Yeah.
Ears, cow ears.
Tracheas.
Yeah, cow ears. I'm not fond of pig's ears because they're brittle.
Yeah.
They're sharp. But cow's ears or lamb's ears for the smaller dogs.
I mean, all parts have become, more and more parts are showing up on the marketplace in the last 10 years.
Dried ligaments, dried tendons.
Yeah, the tracheas are good.
Because you can stuff
those.
Tracheas are a lot of fun. I love to get those, and you fill one end with peanut butter and you shove a banana in it and a little handful of kibble and then seal it and then freeze it. And it's, especially if I'm going to be busy. If I'm going to be running errands and gone, or I've got assignments, deadlines at the computer that I've got to work on, sure, I'll pull one of those out of the freezer and they'll be happy for hours.
Yep.
Hooves.
Hooves. I don't like them. I've done it one time.
We'll talk about brittle.
Yeah, and that was a problem. They were brittle and he ingested, but then it was actually Poncho who threw it up.
Oh.
It just didn't settle with him. So I don't do hooves.
I'll have to admit, when my husband and I were doing horseback riding a lot, we'd take our German Shepherds with us to the stable because they were reliably well trained. They wouldn't harass the horses. They wouldn't chase the horses. And they loved the day that the farrier came. And he'd be trimming hooves, and all of the dogs that belonged to the people there, he'd have 5 or 6 or 8 dogs following him, and he'd toss the hoof bits. But man, when they're fresh off the horse and they're not dried, stinky. Oh. And the stinky dog breath after, the dogs were thrilled. They were happy. But they'd come over and give you a kiss. Hi, Mom, I'm so happy. Oh, yuck. And I think coming right off the horse, they were probably softer than the commercially dried ones. So we never had any issues that way. Never had any digestive upsets or anything like that. But yeah, bad breath. Tripe. Now, tripe stinks, but there are dried tripe chews. And I have gotten those for my dogs, and they're not stinky.
Oh, Lordy, that's something I got to try now.
Oh, you haven't done that one for Cole?
When I think of tripe, I think of it as not a chewy. I guess.
Yeah, gross and soft and stinky. Yeah. Tripe that you would get and cook if you would ever think of doing that. That's not my culture, but or my desire, or would ever be in my kitchen. But I understand some people eat it. But the dried chews, they look kind of like a bully stick, but they're textured, and they're not quite as hard as a bully stick. With Hero, they don't last very long at all, but he's a power chewer. Bones likes them. He will chew on them.
Try something.
Yeah. All right, well, we need to take a break for our sponsors, so hold on. We've got a lot more to talk about when we get back.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
DGP is an all-natural formula proven to help aging pets with joint and mobility problems. It goes to work quickly, providing vital nutrients to the joints while reversing the effects of age. Some people see results in as little as 7 days. Don't let your dog struggle another day. Call 800-521-0543 or visit dgpforpets.com and enter the code DOGGY, that's DOGGY, for 25% off your first order and free shipping.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm Liz. With me today are Petra and Kate. What else have we got?
Now, the one thing that Quill will chew on 80% of the time, but it doesn't last long, are the dried fish. Dried
sure.
fish skins.
Right.
Which is something, but it's not really a good teeth cleaner.
Stink.
And they do stink.
They smell.
I'd put up with it if you would chew on them, but yeah.
You did chicken. What do they have now? Chicken feet?
I tried chicken feet. I was so like, here's who will love this. And I present, and he went, eh.
Have you ever given him marrow bones?
Yes, I have given him fresh bones.
Yeah.
Cooked, not cooked, but
Dried?
Dried.
He doesn't like the marrow bones?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Nope.
I know when we had the German Shepherds, I would get the whole femur. Ask the butcher to save me the whole, the raw whole beef femur. And that was hysterical. With Riker, I got a good picture of him one time. Australian Shepherd, smaller size for a male. And I got him a marrow bone, a femur bone that was as long as his body. And he was out on the side yard gnawing out this. Just, if he'd have died and gone to heaven at that point, he'd have been absolutely thrilled. With Cisco being the power chewer, I didn't get any for him. I have gotten them for Bones and Hero, and Bones will chew on them. But I don't get the whole one. I'll get the cut sections. Yeah. But since Hero is a power chewer, I don't leave them out indefinitely. I let them chew the marrow out. I let them gnaw on them. But they're only allowed to have them when I'm watching. Because then if Hero chews off shards, I'll take them away.
Yeah, those are good. I know I'll do that when my friend does the FFA and they have a cow. It's like, hey, tell them to get some of the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'll bring those.
And a lot of times, if any of our listeners are looking for them, if you go into the butcher at your grocery store, a lot of times they'll save them. Or
actually, they're selling them now.
They sell them in the soup as the soup bones.
Yeah.
And I like to get them with a little meat on them and some marrow because, extra nutrition for the dog.
Just don't give them cooked bones.
No cooked bones.
Like people used to like. I remember as a kid, never thought until now.
Sure.
But, you'd have ribs, the big ones, and I remember we'd give it to our lab. And luckily, she wasn't one that would chew into shards and stuff, but she'd just clean it all nice, and we'd throw it away at that point. Luckily.
Yeah.
But I would not do it to these guys. They're teared up.
And definitely none of the small chicken bones.
Oh, right.
Those are way too shattery.
No turkey bones. Make sure that carcass is out of your dog's potential reach.
I have some lovely friends. They're not dog people. Okay. But they're lovely people anyway.
The ones that give the treats.
I can't tell you how many bags of things I've thrown away over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for the Santa Claus bag of treats and chewies.
Made in China.
And as soon as they leave, I'm like, there's not one thing in this bag I would give my dog.
Oh, yeah. Especially made in China.
And read the ingredients.
Yeah, you will find these put together packages for the holidays of something for, and that's what, look how nicely it's packaged.
It's all cute, looks attractive.
With a red bow and it's
different shapes.
And the rawhide candy cane.
Yeah. Then you start reading it, no.
No.
Yeah, I know. I
no.
shared a post on Facebook about that. It's like, stay away from those.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just, I don't know.
Well-meaning.
They're well-meaning, and I have resisted over the years telling them.
Sure, because they mean well.
They mean
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So what else have your guys chewed on?
Okay, well, I have something coming that I haven't yet tried.
Oh, yeah.
The
Talk
wood.
about
What was
that.
it? Gorilla?
Gorilla wood. I'm a little
Gorilla.
dubious about that.
Apparently they call it the Gorilla Wood Chew, but it's made of some kind of wood that is so soft. The sales pitch is that they can gnaw on it without splintering. Others call BS on that and say it does. So, in my desperation to find something my dog will chew on, I've got one coming.
Yeah, I looked at it and I don't know. We'll see what you have to say about it. I'm a little dubious.
Well, if he doesn't like it like he doesn't like 98% of all the things I give him, you can try it on yours.
Yeah.
Ah.
It just seemed... I have to admit, I've never heard
Now,
of
the
a wooden...
group that was raving about it were mostly UK British trainers.
Okay.
And they were just saying it was the most wonderful thing.
Okay.
And there were just a few people going, yeah, I didn't like it for my dog.
Okay.
I thought I'd give it a try.
Well, sure. Well, that's how I got started on the Benabones, is somebody had said, hey, it's great, and I went, most of my dogs haven't liked those kinds of chews. And,
Now, it used to be if I got a brand new Nylabone or a Benabone or something like that, neither Walter nor Gina, my Roddy, would be interested until I gave them to my friend with a border terrier. Who would
start him off?
get them all roughed up.
Yep.
Once they had been pre-chewed, as it were, pre-dinged, then my kids would go for it.
Yeah.
But smooth out of the package, brand new,
now we tried that with the Benabone. I had Hero pre-chew it and then did...
No, Quill still went,
That's too bad.
But this is the terrier that catches mice, kills them, and then leaves their bodies.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about that, frankly. I'm glad he doesn't eat his mice kills.
Yeah, having reached down Bashir's throat to pull the
Right.
critter out that was going
I'm-
down whole.
I'm much less worried about secondary pesticide poisoning.
Yes.
But, I gotta find something for him.
Yeah. So what else have you given your guys, Petra?
Oh, I think pretty much everything we've
Oh,
mentioned.
somebody the other day, big, huge carrots. That's what they give their dog to chew on.
Huh.
Big, huge carrots.
I tried to give my guys carrots, and they look at me like, what?
Yeah, that wouldn't go over with mine.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, well, I've tried carrot pieces, and
Yeah.
Bones
Yeah,
won't
they're
even
like,
take
nah.
them.
Okay.
Hero goes, patooey.
Okay.
Bones won't even take it. Now, grated mixed in with their food, sure.
Yeah. No, this
But-
kid was just chewing away on it.
Yeah.
No. No, I haven't done that. No, I think pretty much everything we've mentioned is just. I think, like you said, sometimes this kind of funny. Sometimes if Benji, the Palm, will start one of the chews, and then one of the boys will just take it over.
Now, I have
So the little tiny Palm has a start on a chew, and then the boys are like, that's mine now, and then they'll be fine.
I have in the past, with other dogs, taken the chew of whatever kind and mixed up some beef broth and stood it with one end in the beef broth overnight.
Oh, I've done that other previous dogs.
Yeah. And
Kind of let it
then
soak up in there.
get the
Get
beef
the-
smell and flavoring, and then the next day give it to the dog. And usually once they get started on it, then it's fine. But just get that, say if I took a cheek roll and
Stick one end.
put
I've done that, yeah.
some beef broth or some beef rehydrated beef bouillon, and then stick the end in it, and that would get them to chew. Oh, Kate's going, ooh, you haven't
tried
heard that
that one
trick.
yet?
I haven't tried that trick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Since Quill likes, I got fish sauce. Oh boy, does that stink up the house.
Give it to him out on the patio.
Yeah. Now I would cut yams into good sized
And
strips
dehydrate them. Yeah.
with chicken wrapped around them and dehydrate it all together as an
Yeah.
extra special treat.
Yeah.
Other dogs have loved it. Quill just eats the chicken off and leaves the yam.
But that's still, that's a good one, because if you do dehydrated chicken,
It's
Yeah,
still,
but he just eats
that's-
it. He doesn't gnaw it.
still
it's better than nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But it's an after dinner mint. It's not a chew.
It's not a full satisfying chew.
It's not a toothbrush. That way.
All right. Well, hopefully we've given you some listeners. Oh, wait.
Something to chew on?
Oh, no, I wasn't going there.
Oh, okay.
I was going something to think about, but yeah,
something
you're
to chew on.
you're the punter.
That's awesome. But again, watch where they're made. Look at where they're made.
And
Just
when
be
you
cautious.
first offer them a different kind of chew, do it while you can supervise, especially if you're giving something like the Himalayan cheese or a raw bone or something like that.
I'm sure there are dogs out there that try to break open an Nylabone and crack a tooth, so you just got to watch them
Yeah.
until you know what kind of chewers they are.
I know that I can leave the Benabones with Hero and he can chew and he'll be fine. I know I can leave the cheek rolls. But if I get a new something or other, like you're getting the Gorilla Wood,
Supervised.
you've got to supervise and watch. If you think your dog has swallowed a chunk of a chew of any kind, get him into your vet. A client of ours, their dog had eaten something. They had him go into the emergency room and they made him throw up. And it turns out he also had 3 hair scrunchies in there. So it was a good thing that they had him throw up.
Right. But you don't want to always have a dog throw up, so you got to check the vet.
Right. Don't do it yourself. Talk
I mean,
to
if
the
it's a
veterinarian.
sharp, if you're suspecting
Yeah.
a sharp shard,
You don't want him to
back
throw
up,
up.
no.
right?
But at the same time, don't ignore it and hope that it'll pass. Get your veterinarian's opinion.
Yeah.
It's important. I've, knock on wood, and I'm not knocking energetically, not had to have abdominal surgery on any of mine. But as a vet tech, I certainly assisted on many of those surgeries.
And yes, it's expensive to go to the vet, but throwing them up or helping them pass it is much less expensive than surgery.
Yes, yes. Saving the life of your dog. All right. On that note, we'll let you go and enjoy listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Chew on.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.